So the first example we're going to look at is find the equation of a circle whose centre is 3, 2 and whose radius is 8. Now, we're going to get this equation in two different appearances, if you like, or two sort of different views. First of all, though, you should just be able to tell me what to write down at this point to get that. Casey, are you brave enough to have a go? Yep. Yep. Yep, that's exactly right. Okay, that's the equation of that circle. But there are other ways of writing that down as well. You could expand the brackets, and you need to be able to recognise what a circle looks like if the brackets have been expanded. Is there anybody who can just tell me in the head, other than our human calculator here, what x minus 3 all squared is?
X squared minus 6 plus 9.
Plus 9.
Yeah, plus 9, that's right, because it's a minus 3 times minus 3. Anybody over here then do the same on the y minus 2 all squared?
1 squared minus 4
Okay, and we'll add those bits together, and on the right, human calculator, 8 squared.
64.
I know, it was an insult to ask you that, wasn't it? Okay, so there we go. Now, you wouldn't normally leave any bit of algebra written down like that. What would you normally do?
Group it.
Yeah, so the number bits here, you would normally combine together. So if we leave the x squared there, often what you write next to it, because it came out in the homework answers, the polynomial homework answers, like writing things in order. We would put all the squared bits usually first. So that's dealt with that bit and that bit. Then the bits with just single letters in, that bit and that bit. And then we'll have all the numbers on the right hand side possibly. So this positive 9 and this positive 4, which will make positive 13, will go to the other side and be subtracted. So I'll be left with 51. So that is also the equation of a circle. So an equation of a circle can also look like x squared plus y squared plus or minus some amount of x's plus or minus some amount of y's equaling some other number over here. That is also the equation of a circle. It's just not in its bracketed form. So you need to spot, if you get something like that, it's still the equation of a circle. Okay. Are we all happy with that? So we're going to look at a second example now. We want to find the centre and the radius of this circle. X squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 6y minus 3 equals 0. There's our next question. Because this one is not written in the bracketed form. Can I move it up to there? Is that okay? Okay. So if we're going to find the centre and the radius of this one, we need it in its bracketed form. What do you think would be a good thing to do first of all? Add the 3 to the other side. Okay, we could do that. What else might be useful? Just in the way it's written down. Group the y's and group the x's, yeah, okay. So write the x's first. Sorry, that's 4 there. Now, I am going to leave a gap there for a reason, okay. Then I'm going to have the y's over here. And someone said move the 3 to the other side. Okay, so I will do that. And I have deliberately left a gap here, and I meant to deliberately leave a gap there as well, but I forgot. Okay? Right, here, I meant to leave a gap there as well. Now, this thing here, x squared plus 4x, we want that in a bracket with an x and a something in there. Yes, you're muttering over here, completing the square. This is like completing the square. Okay? And when we were completing the square, we always said we need half of that. So half of that is a positive 2. Then do the same thing over here. This is going to be a y and something squared. And what will go in here will be half of that. And half of that is negative 3. and that will be equal to 3. But what I have done in here is I've introduced extra bits. Because if I multiplied this bracket out, what have I introduced here? If you multiply that out, you get x squared plus 4x plus 4. So actually, I need to subtract 4 from there to make it true. That is basically that squared, the last bit there squared. And over here, if I multiply this out, I will get y squared minus 6y, and what else will I get? Plus 9. So I need to take it off as well to keep it as it was before. So I'm taking them off because I've actually introduced them effectively inside the brackets there. So what do you think would be sensible to do next then? Yeah, move the red numbers over to the other side. So I've got x plus 2 all squared. I'm adding on my y minus 3 all squared, and on the right I've got that 3 plus the red 4 and plus the red 9. So I'm going to get x plus 2 all squared plus y minus 3 all squared, and on the right I'm going to end up with 16, which is the same as 4 squared. Okay? So, that circle, I wanted to know what the centre was and what the radius was. Okay? What's the centre of that circle?
2 minus 3. Oh no, yeah, minus
Yeah, that's right. You always got to do the opposite sign to what's in the bracket. Minus 2, 3, and the radius is 4. Okay?
what did we leave the gap for?
To write in the red numbers. I've left the gap to write in the numbers I had to subtract. Okay? So, if we look at another example, we'll do the same thing. Okay? We'll find the centre and the radius. And this time our equation is x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 5 equals 0. So, somebody had a good idea last time to group the x's together, then to group the y's together, yes it was you, and then to move the number on the other side. So, write it as x squared plus 6x, then leave a space, plus y squared plus, what?
Just have it equal to 5.
Okay, and then have it equal to 5, yeah. Okay, so move the number bit to the other side. So, this I want as a bracket here. And what we're doing, we're saying we look at this and we do half of that. So half of that is plus 3. Now, if I multiply that bracket out, I'm going to get something which is not on the line I'm pointing at. I'm going to get the value of, so I need to take that 9 off. Now, y squared I can just leave as y squared. Okay, so I can leave it like that. I need to move that 9 to the other side, where it becomes a positive 9. And I can just add those two numbers together. So, the centre and the radius of that one. The centre for that one will be minus 3, 0. Yeah, there's nothing added on or taken off that y. That's why it's 0 there. And the radius will be, yeah, square root of 14. Okay? Right, so that's the basic stuff about circles. What we have to look at and move on to in a minute is circles and tangents and normals and things like that. But I want just you to make a note at this point that you should now be able to do from the books. Page 199 is where it starts, and exercise 13a. We're not going to do it now. We're going to look at that at home later on. But you should at this point be able to do that exercise. I'm going to stop the video there and carry on the teaching in another one.